James, good morning. I hope you're well.
Good morning. Pleasure to be with you.
So, Muslim religious leaders on the global stage are exhibiting divergent responses to the Gaza situation.
Indeed. So what we've seen is institutions like Al-Azhar, a citadel of Islamic learning in Cairo, fundamentally coming out in support of Hamas in the current conflict, and uncritically approaching the issue of violence in resolving the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. By contrast, you had this week a meeting in Indonesia organized by the world's largest Muslim civil society movement, Nahdlatul Ulama, that gathered Jewish, Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, and Hindu leaders that called for a repositioning of religion, including Islam, but not exclusively Islam, towards contributing positively towards peace in the Middle East, in terms of in ending the Gaza war, but also beyond that. Interestingly enough, there were no Middle Eastern representatives there. The Grand Imam of Al-Azhar, Sheikh Ahmed Al-Tayyib, and the Secretary General of the Muslim World League, the Saudi vehicle, were not present in Jakarta. Al-Tayyib said he had urgent domestic issues he needed to attend to, and Al-Isa, the Secretary General of the Muslim World League, only appeared in a very brief video without really engaging in what the conference was about.
Now, the United States is putting pressure on Israel to change its tactics once the fighting resumes.
Well, we just minutes ago, or in the last hour, saw the end of the current truce, and Israel has said that it will resume hostilities immediately once the truce ends. It's increasingly clear that the United States and Israel have serious differences. One of those differences is the way that Israel conducts the Gaza war and the indiscriminate bombing and killing of innocent Palestinians. Israel probably will be pushed to adopt a different tactic, a tactic that reduces the risk for innocent Palestinians. But it's also likely that behind closed doors, the Americans are saying to the Israelis, this cannot go on forever. You don't have 2 months as you claimed you need. You're going to have to resolve this one way or other within the next, whatever it may be, a week or two.
Qatar has discovered that its mediation in Gaza's efforts are a double-edged sword.
Indeed. So Qatar has played a crucial role in arranging the truce, in arranging the exchange of prisoners, but at the same time, particularly out of the corner of the right-wing Israelis, Qatar is being criticized for having a relationship with Hamas. Fact of the matter is that it has that relationship in part because the Israelis and the Americans wanted to have it. They both needed a back channel to Hamas, since both Israel and the United States refused to have any direct contact with the group. But now that the truce has ended, unless Qatar can successfully engage in arranging for the day after, with other words, how will Gaza be governed once the guns fall silent, and in assisting in trying to get a negotiation going that would lead to a definitive resolution of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, it could come under increased pressure to break off its relationship with Hamas.
Iran is not the only Middle Eastern player that could trigger the Gaza war turning into a regional conflict. The Houthis in Yemen could do the same.
Indeed. We saw yesterday the firing of U.S. missiles against the Houthis after they had launched a projectile in the direction of Israel. So, with other words, if the Houthis continue to actively try and support Hamas by firing missiles in the direction, or rockets in the direction of Israel, that could lead to a U.S. intervention in Yemen. So, although the Houthis are aligned with Iran, they don't necessarily take orders from Iran, and so this is sort of a wild card, if you wish.
All right, James. As always, we thank you for your time. Have a great week.
Thank you very much for having me. It was a pleasure.
Listeners can check out the website, jamesmdorsey.net.